At 6:01 now on this Friday morning, we are following breaking news right now here in the Salt Lake Valley, impacting a number of cities as police have now taken at least 2 people into custody after an early morning drive-by shooting in Taylorsville.
Now, this is a live look at the scene here in Salt Lake. The suspects in custody after some sort of drive-by shooting. You can see, look at to the right of your screen, you will see a white vehicle. We don't know if Unified Police boxed that vehicle in, but you can see it does have some damage. Now, police also tell us that the suspects inside that car bailed, but they were able to catch up with them. Police also tell us they were able to recover a handgun. Don't have a lot more information other than that, although we do have unconfirmed reports that during this chase, speeds reached up to 70 miles an hour on city streets.
Boy, this has been a big story for the past hour and a half or so, as we're now seeing some of the damage left behind as the sun comes up. We will certainly keep you posted. We're getting information from Unified Police. Again, a live look to the scene there at 800 South and 900 East, a heavily trafficked area in Salt Lake City. We'll see if this will impact the morning commute.
I just can't understand how people can, how people can behave like this and why there's so much hate in the world.
Nobody knew what was going on. We all just knew that we had to run for our lives.
Despair, heartbreak, and terror in France after a large truck mowed through thousands gathered for Bastille Day fireworks in the city of Nice.
It is far too often that we have began this show with terrible news around the world, and we do it in this case again this morning, as we now know at least 84 people, including 2 Americans, a father and a son from Texas, have died after that truck drove through a crowd for more than a mile along the city's famed seaside promenade.
And this morning, we know those 2 Americans are from Austin, Texas. 51-year-old Sean Copeland and his 11-year-old son Brody were visiting Nice on vacation. A family member posted to Twitter saying, "I don't even know how to put this into words." And of course, with the hashtag that we often see, pray for Nice. Now, relatives say the 2 were celebrating a birthday in France with other family members at the time of this attack. By the way, this attack came just before 11 o'clock French time as the city was getting ready for Bastille Day. Of course, similar to the 4th of July celebrations that take place here in this country. And that's when a truck came plowing through the crowd, sending thousands running for their lives, some even fleeing, jumping into the ocean. And this morning, officials still searching the truck, inside the truck, for more evidence. We'll have much more coming up in just a few minutes. A live report with the latest details on this tragedy that's rocked a nation that's still, of course, dealing with the aftermath of attacks in November that killed 130 people. And of course, worldwide, the outpouring of support on social media sparked the hashtag Pray for Nice as many politicians offered condolences for the nation. We'll start with Hillary Clinton. She tweeted, "Every American stands in strong solidarity with the people of France." Donald Trump posted as well, saying, "My prayers and condolences to the victims and families of this terrible tragedy. We are with you in every way." Now, Donald Trump's presumed vice presidential pick, Governor Mike Pence, tweeted this: "This must end," along with a longer statement expressing his condolences to the French people. And then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also took to Twitter saying, "Canadians are shocked by the attack in Nice, our sympathy with the victims and our solidarity with the French people."
In local headlines this morning and new today, a father and his 12-year-old son are both in the hospital recovering from burns after a house fire in Cedar Hills. The fire started early this morning. The family had all gotten out before firefighters even arrived, except for the 12-year-old boy. His father rushed back into the burning home to get him, and they were both able to get out safely, although they had some injuries. Firefighters say without his father, the boy likely would have died. We're hearing more from neighbors this morning about an explosion that rocked a tiny town in the Nevada desert just west of the Utah border. Police say a man rigged up a car bomb and then parked in front of another family's home in Panaca. That's about 80 miles west of Cedar City. The suspect died in the blast. A boy riding a bike nearby was hurt, but other than that, no injuries. The blast damaged several neighboring homes.
It was a sad story about a guy that was sick and lost his family and lost his job, and he took his own life.
Investigators right now are trying to piece together the man's connection to the family. Some reports suggest he was disgruntled over an employment situation. A FedEx driver is facing charges today after, listen to this, police say he was driving drunk in his delivery truck. The driver is 26-year-old Curtis Puzey from Kaysville. He rolled the delivery van into a ditch, and this was the scene in Huntsville, about 700 North and 7800 East after the accident. Deputies discovered the van on its side. They say Puzey had gone through a field sobriety test and revealed his blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit. Officers discovered alcohol inside. Puzey was not hurt in that crash.
We just booked it. I grabbed my fiance and we started running. A lot of the shops started closing the doors, so we went into a restaurant. I asked them right outside. They just closed the door, and I was like, please let us in.
We didn't know if it was a shooter. We didn't know if there was multiple people.
Top story this morning is Americans vacationing in Nice, France, described their terrifying ordeal as the truck plows through a crowd and, as we mentioned, killed at least 84 people. And the nation was celebrating its Independence Day. French President Francois Hollande calling this attack a monstrosity. And President Obama is condemning what he said appears to be a horrific terrorist attack. And we're going to bring in Tracy Potts now live from Washington, D.C. And as I understand it, at this point, so far, there has been no claim of responsibility for this attack.